Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Kind of similar to something I made earlier today, but throwing a little wrench into it, making it a little more difficult. But if you follow a couple of ideas, I'm going to make a circle. Let's make it 1 inch. And then let's set our nudge factor on 3 inches. And let's hit the plus key and then make some more circles. So what we want to do, you've got to do this symmetrically. So it'll work. So we want to do this right here with this. So this top curve, and I'm going to get the 3-point line. And if you go from the quadrant to the quadrant and then give it a little arch. Now, you have to use that same line again. You cannot reduplicate that line. So I'm going to hit the plus key and I'm going to mirror it. And I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go to the quadrant. Now I'm going to grab that same line, hit the plus key, rotate it 90 degrees, and put it on the quadrant. Well, it didn't fit. Maybe I got too much of an arch, but it'll work, I think. Hit the plus key and mirror it the other way, and put that one on the quadrant. So you have an equal, you know what? I need this, that's why it didn't work. I need this one on the inside of the quadrant. I only did this one time. That's going to be a little bit skinnier than the other ones, but it's going to fit together. So we're going to group this together. And because we've nudged 3 inches, we can nudge 3 inches down and then rotate that guy 90 degrees and look, it fits. Then you can hit the plus key and do that. But before you do all that, you need to fill this in with the Smart Fill tool. And we'll go and use black because we're going to put interactive fill tool. And we're going to put black on both ends. And then we're going to put gray, not so light a gray in the middle. About right there. Maybe taper it up. Maybe have it not quite so dark. So run your black off. And you could even do a lighter gray in the middle. That might be too light. Okay. Now, you could fill in the circles now. With black. The only problem is that some of them are going to be filled twice because we're going to use it. Now I'm going to take away the outline by right-clicking. I'm going to Control G to group it, Control D to duplicate it, and move it over, but then rotate it 90 degrees. And that's the best part about this because everything's going to work together. So I'm going to hit the plus key and arrow down twice this time, and then Control D. Then Control G, Control D, over and up. You know what? I must not have got the whole thing in a group. Yep, I didn't get that top one. So go up to Object or Control G, hit the plus key, move it over, and up or down. Now, you could get rid of that one now or leave it like it is, but now we're like we should be, so I'm going to hit the plus key and hit it twice. And if you wanted to get rid of those other ones, there's a couple of trains of thought. You could delete them very easily, or we could do this. We could group all this together, Control G. I'm going to hit P to put it in the center of the page. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and double click on the rectangle tool. And then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to kind of bring it in about, well, it doesn't have to be a perfect square. You could bring that one up. And if you wanted to, now that the others are grouped, you could intersect it and then you have that. And then you you could really, if you split it evenly, you could keep going. The black dot's almost overpowering. I should have maybe made them a gray, or it's a little bit overpowering. But you could also, it doesn't really have an outline, so you could click on it and give it an outline, and then make it 3 points, and then the black dots don't really seem to overpower it. Anyway, just playing around. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.